Good afternoon, welcome to the Our League App, welcome to the Manchester Regional Arena for the third game of the Australian Schoolboys tour. Matt Horton and Alan Coleman with you this afternoon. We'll run through the lineups, starting with Lancashire, who have Tom Nisbet at fullback, John Hutchins, Jaden Hatton, Josh Sim and Reece Hamlet on the wing, Ben Davis in 18 and Oliver Leyland at 7. Up front, Ethan Havard, Jake Winfield and Nathan Wild. And the back three, Matt Foster, Sam Royal and James McDonnell. On the bench, Aidan Roden, Jack Wellsby, Jared O'Connell, Sam Halsall, Christian Kelly, Joe Sharrett. The Australian Schoolboys, led by Jock Madden this afternoon, have Tessie Neal at fullback, Stephen Crichton, Bradman Best, Timano Alexander and Jason Saab in the three quarters, Tommy Talau and Jock Madden at half-back. Up front, Sean Vivaletta, Ryan Gray and Jaden Tanner, Junan Compain, Matt Dorey and Jalal Bazaz in 13. On the bench, Max Alters, Harry Crocker, Star Toa, Benny Tapia, Zach Sini, Matt Jagasic, Tom Dearden, Ratu Nanovo and Franklin Pele wraps things up. Lancashire in the red, Australia in the green. Good morning to everybody on the eastern seaboard. 12:30 a.m. Sunday morning in Sydney, 11:30 a.m. in the Sunshine State of Queensland. If you have stayed up to watch the game, thanks for joining us here in a overcast Manchester this afternoon, as Ben Davis gets us underway here this afternoon. Alan, we were up in Newcastle last week, and that's a great start. They've come up with an error straight away from Tessie Neal, and Lancashire will start on the front foot.
Yeah, it's good to see. So hopefully now they're straight under the cosh and we get a bit of good territory with ball in hand. So we'll see what these Aussies are going to defend like today.
Ethan Havard it is, as Wingfield at dummy half goes to the right. Lancashire looking to have got shape here. They've got a chance for this corner with as Hatton is put to ground just short of the line. Can Lancashire start early and get the dream start? Here's Sam Royal now for Lancashire. 15 out from the line in centre field as Wingfield at dummy half comes to this left hand side. Davis,
nice.
Long ball for the corner to Reece Hamlet. Hamlet will step back in field and Lancashire continue to build the pressure.
He's going to go, Sims. He's going to go.
He's going to go and he's in. And Lancashire have made the perfect start. A minute on the clock and Josh Sim gets over. The error from Tessie Neal created the initial chance for Lancashire, and they've put the foot on the throat straight away, and Josh Sim with the numbers sneaks over from dummy half, and the Red Rose lead by 4 points to 0.
Yeah, it's a good start, fantastic kick-off. An error from the Aussies early doors, but they capitalised real well. They didn't panic, they put some shape on, they looked to play. And I think what created the try there personally was Reece Hamlet, powerful run, found his front, played it quick, Josh just went and too much power for them.
I was going to ask you what you were going to think about the game today before Tessie Neal went and did the knock on.
Well, speaking like we did do before, Matt, we both agreed that the first game was a total mismatch, and we know that. The second game, as you commented, that it was a lot more size and power to match them with the Yorkshire boys, and I know Lancashire, the last game they played Yorkshire, come out victorious on that. So, before the game, if you ask, I think what's important is that these can compete, and Lancashire's got some fantastic kids on board, so I think it's got to be a real test for the Australians today, a real test.
So Wigan's Josh Sim will have the kicking duties. Saints is Josh Sim, sorry, and he's just put it to the side of the post, but 4-0 thanks to the Saints man.
That leaves the score.
Great start.
Yeah, real good. So what's important now is they react real well to it again. No errors from Lancashire. Complete the sets and put it in some good areas.
Not the start the Australian head coach Tony Adam would have wanted, but Ian Talbot over on that far side will be happy as Stephen Crichton gets us back underway. Horrible spiralling kick-off. It's well dealt with by Ben Davis, and Reece Hamlet will bring it back 15 away from the line. Davis at dummy half gets it to Matty Foster.
Great D.
Yeah,
Big numbers tackle there.
I will expect they've had the kitchen sink behind the line from the trainer. As Ethan Havard from Wigan. Just a question of, again, we said this quite a lot on Wednesday night, Dave and I. it's about completing these sets, isn't it?
Oh yeah, definitely. Especially after the good set you've just had. You know, you can't afford to give the Australians ball in your territory. So now they'll look to a good kick. It's got to go to space.
And they've made Australian territory.
We know what the fullback's like from the previous games. He's quality, but it's not the best of kicks, to be honest.
Straight down the throat of Tessie Niu, and Niu will be put to ground. 20 away from the line. First test on D for Lancashire.
This is a good test for us now, Matt. Let's see what we've got in our D here now. Get numbers in and slow their rucks right down so it stops the quality of Ryan Gray to play.
And there is Gray at dummy half. Goes to Crichton down this right hand side. Gray waits at dummy half. Goes to the left hand side. Here is Jalal Bazaz. Gets 5 inside as Gray at dummy half. Looks left to Jaden Tanner with the headband on. Last tackle, says our referee, as Gray at dummy half. Goes to the right hand side to Madden, and Madden goes high. Tester here.
That's not the best of kicks.
Reece Hamlet. He's got away with that, Reece Hamlet. Surely better to catch and get back to the 20.
Definitely, he should have caught it on the full. He's took the risk. The risk has come good for him, but you know, you never know with the bounce of a ball. So I think next time the message will be on, you know, make sure we collect them.
So Lancashire in no rush to get us back underway, and it will be Reece Hamlet who does get us back underway. And there's these big numbers we see from these Australians.
Yeah, definitely. See, what they'll do, Matt, for me is they'll not be bothered with that kick. They'll just be looking at the arrow from Lancashire. They'll look to force the arrow, defend well. They're renowned for defending and grinding teams down.
Here's John Hutchins in off the wing. As Wingfield at dummy half. Goes the right hand side to James McDonald. Wingfield again at dummy half to Nathan Wild. Wild out the back to Davis, and Davis puts the offload. It's gone backwards. Somebody needs to react quickly, and it's been ruled a knock on. And Australia will get the scrum 5 short of halfway.
For me, too predictive at times, Matt. I really think they've got to hit a lead runner there now and again. They've gone round the back, they've had the ball 2 or 3 times, and every play they've gone back, man, and the Aussies are pushing off. So we've got to stop that push, and that comes from hitting an early lead ball.
Just need to find a bit better shape at the moment, the Lancashire on attack. As Madden will feed the scrum, 5 short of halfway. There's Talau, son of Willie Talau. Ex-Saint.
Yeah.
He'd be used to these English conditions a bit then, Tommy, won't he? If he's
got some pace, this fella.
This left-hand
got him
side
in.
with Jason Saab, and they've got him into touch. Sorry, Stephen Crichton down that left-hand side in the blue boots. Got him into touch, and second tackle turnover. Again, Tony Adams might not be over-impressed with that.
No, certainly not. Definitely not. But look where they've turned the ball over, and that's a big one for me. Any coach will tell you don't want to do, ideally, but they've got to go 75 metres. So if you are going to turn it over in these areas.
Craig Smith is our referee this afternoon, with Denton Arnold and Curtis Etchells on the sideline, and Tara Jones is the 4th official.
Numbers again there.
Nice. Gone too quick. And it's the first penalty of the afternoon for the Red Rose. Three blows. And Lancashire will start 30 away from this Australian line. Another big chance. As Davis gets it to Nathan Wild.
They've got them split here now. This is a perfect scenario to have a play, and they are going to do.
As Leyland goes to that left-hand side.
The ball weren't great.
Tom Nisbet just does well to hang on to that. Oliver Leyland, the London scrum half. Here he is. Goes to the left-hand side to McDonald.
Great offload.
Oh, hit the crash ball. And here's danger as Niu gets chance to go on. It's good cover from Josh Saint.
The try line was begging then.
It's about getting this defence organised quickly as well from a Lancashire perspective, as Jason Saab takes it in.
I just feel as though, you know, Lancashire have got to make a real good start, because as you commentated before, Matt, some of these kids haven't played for 6 or 7 weeks, and you know fatigue will set in, and the Aussies have had 2 games in 4 or 5 days already. So great ball, fantastic ball.
Here is Janine Compain.
Great ball.
Compain is going to get in for the Australians. 9 minutes on the clock. Great pass. Janine Compain with the big gap, and he gets over the line, and the Australian Schoolboys are right back in it. You can't do them an inch, can you?
No, you just said it yourself, Matt. You know, they're looking to play the ball real quick, and they have done there, and they've caught Lancashire out. Great ball from Tommy Talau. Fantastic line. I think, was it 11, was it? Julian Compain.
Julian Compain.
Superb rugby. Counter-attack rugby in a way, and fully deserved.
That takes the scores to 4 apiece.
I suspect Jock Madden will have the kicking duties back this afternoon. He missed the game in Castleford on Wednesday night with a slight knock. No point risking was the message from Tony Adam. He was pretty good with the boot in Newcastle last Sunday. He shot the first one, didn't he? But after that, he didn't miss many. We had him nailed on for kicking it, and he went and missed it. So here is Jock Madden with the conversion attempt. Just got some strapping on that right leg as Madden with the kick gets it high and knows the call. So 4-4 here at the Manchester Regional Arena. Don't forget the first test is next Saturday, 2 o'clock at the Sports Village. Get yourself there. It's a £5 on the door for adults. It's going to be, hopefully get a nice big crowd down at the Sports Village. If you can't make it to League, we will be here on the Our League app next Saturday afternoon, 2 o'clock kick-off at the Sports Village, and then the Friday after, Emerald Headingley, 7:30 p.m. for the second test, as Ben Davis gets us back underway. Another one of those high, horrible, swirling Pat Richards type kick. Oh, what's he given there?
I don't know what he's give, to be honest. Don't know what he's give. I think that was a fantastic chase.
What's he given?
Great kick, and
it taken out in the air.
The challenge was superb. Real shame that, real shame, because if you remember at Newcastle, Matt, the kicks were great, but there was no challenge for them.
I'm just a little wondering why that's a penalty when there's 2 blokes competing for the ball.
Correct.
And Australia will start on halfway with Bradman Best. It's Talau.
Great contact.
Drops it off to Vivaletta.
Jake Wingfield there with a nice big hit early doors.
It's great dummy half. Here is Madden to Talau. Good
Another hit there.
Great hit.
Matthew Foster. Matthew Foster there.
It's Bazaz is taken by Nathan Wild. Gray goes the left hand side to Madden.
Oh, the ball again. Oh, it's gone forward.
It's gone a mile forward. Play on though. Chance here for Tom Nisbet, and Nisbet is going down that right hand side. He's kicked it inside to Leyland. It's gone into touch, and it will be a scrum. No free play. Remember.
No free play. Yeah,
international rules here this afternoon.
I was just going to say they're going to go all the way back, but no, you're right, Matt. No free play. What's your thoughts on that?
I'm glad it's going, to be honest, because you never see anything happen on the back of a free play.
Majority of the time people just kick and hope.
Yeah, kick and hope, and games have been slow enough as they are at the moment, and that just makes the games longer because it stops the clock and everybody has to traipse 80 metres back down the field. And it's idea were right. I think execution's been wrong.
Yeah.
As the Australians then with Crichton. Gray at dummy half. Jock Madden getting a lot of ball at the moment as Timana Alexander drops back in on the inside.
You know what, I think Lancashire's done the bit of homework really, because what they've done is they're slowing the rucks down as much as they can to stop them. Our man who we spoke about most times is Ryan Gray. Look how slow that is. You know, no matter how good the 9 is, you cannot go on rucks like that.
As Madden got numbers here, and Madden with the offload on the inside, somebody needs to react, and Lancashire have done, and they've got the football back, and things just not dropping into place for Australia at the moment.
No, they're looking to offload most times, half breaks, and you know what? It's not working, but it will work. So Lancashire need to be switched on there.
I think to be fair to Mr. Smith, he's given both teams plenty of time in the ruck, isn't he?
Yeah, certainly is. He's been consistent in that area, so he's not pinged anybody at the moment, and they're all doing it. Just it's got to be right.
Gets to halfway as Wingfield at dummy half goes to the right. Here is Ethan Havard, another one of the Wiganers in the side. Wingfield goes to the right to Leyland, and
it's a great kick.
Goes high. Crichton's there, has been dropped, and chance has gone. Here's Talau, danger. And Talau's wrapped up. Will be a 0 tackle. Should have been, but Crichton takes it in.
Just looks a little bit of fatigue setting in. If you look at, the line speed's not as quick from Lancashire, and going back wise, it's becoming a bigger ask than it was 10-15 minutes ago. So
15 gone here, more or less, at the regional arena, coming up to 15 gone. 4-all if you're just joining us here on the Hour League app.
Careful with them looks.
As Gray gets it to Jaden Tanner.
Offload.
Tanner's got it away to Talau. Good reactions from Matty Foster. As Gray goes down the short side, Madden the quick.
Another error.
It's ended up in the hands of Oliver Leyland, and it's Madden again who's come up with it.
You know what, Matt? I think both teams are here to play, and they're here to put a show on.
Lancashire playing into what breeze there is here at the regional arena this afternoon, looking at the flags down below our position. 15 short and a half range. Wingfield to Davis. Here is Ethan Havard. As Wingfield goes from dummy half. Good run, gets over halfway. This is McDonald. Last tackle. High kicks have caused havoc so far.
Yeah.
We've got to go to the air with Davis that goes low instead, looking to turn
Too long,
south.
that.
Too much on it, and it will be a 7 tackle set for the Australians. It's all right going high all the time, but you need to mix it up a little bit as well, don't you?
Yeah, and just take that bit of a weight off. If it just rolls just before the line or after it, it's a quality kick. He'll know. The young man will know for next time. So hopefully, in them areas, it'll be a better kick next time and a bit of joy in the back of it.
No sign of movement on either bench as Crichton goes from dummy half. It's unlimited interchanges here this afternoon at the regional arena. Australia giving all 22 of their squad a run this afternoon, and Lancashire have named 20 players, so there's going to be lots of traffic on the sideline. I think a couple of these Australians are just getting a bit frustrated with the speed of the ruck as well, aren't they? A few arms are flying in there as Vivaletta, it's a good run. It's going to be told to play it by
that's their strength, Matt. We know that, don't we? We're watching a couple of games of them now, and we know their strengths on back of them quick rucks with Mr. Gray, and I think they're getting frustrated with it now.
As Madden down this right hand side, Madden only runs into the arms of Ben Davis though. It's a
Great lift by Josh Sim there, put him to ground, slow the ruck.
Defensive win for the Lancashire boys as Talau on the last tackle goes
Not the
across
best.
field. It's jump ball, it's come off Australian hands. It's going to be first tackle as Sam Royal takes it in, but Australia at the right end of the field, Alan.
Yeah, certainly are. And the Lancashire have to work hard here now. The back line especially, come and help. Let's get us out of these areas. Our middles are tiring.
Then they're on the way off. Ethan Havard and Nathan Wild. So first move from Ian Talbot, changing the big boys as Davis gets it to Sim. Sim down this left hand side for Reece Hamlet. As Davis gets it to the first of the interchanges, Joe Shorrocks. Christian Kellett's the other one in 17 who's got out there. Last tackle as Wingfield from dummy half gets the kick into the wing, puts the old daisy cutter in as Tessie Newfields comes back to this right hand side. I don't think that kick was in the plan, was it? Because the chase wasn't the best.
No, and we spoke before about putting it into space, but if you look how they set the back line, You know, Niu's in the middle.
Collision there.
Niu's in the middle, and both wingers position themselves as well, so it's really hard to find space. So you've got to credit the Aussies for that.
Jason Saab has just run over the top of Jake Wingfield, and I think Craig Smith suspects there may be a little bit of a concussion in there for Jake Wingfield, and
as well
just wants the trainer to get out there and check him over. He went backwards at a fair rate to knock.
And I've coached the kid, young Wingfield, and he'll not take a backward step, no matter how sore or how hurt he is. He'll get up and go again. Definitely, certainly will.
Of course, player welfare, the main objective these days.
Won't do anything for his loops anyway, Matt, so he's all right there.
It's Jalal Bazaz for the Australians. Just inside the Lancashire half as Gray to Madden. Here is Matt Dorey on the drop-off. As Gray goes to the left to Talau.
Interception! He's gone.
From Oliver Leyland. Has he got the space to beat Neo? I don't think he will have. But Lancashire will start 15 away from the line, and just about held him up enough. Chance here for the Red Rose.
You look on the short side, the wing is isolated.
They're isolated. Penalty coming.
You know what? They'll not mind that. They'll not mind that penalty.
That's a good penalty to give away.
Yeah, they'll not mind that. They're going to have to backtrack 2 yards. So there's no energy zapped in there. So,
and they've got the defensive line set now. As Leyland gets it to Christian Kelly.
You just got to be patient, Matt. You know, don't think they have to score, because if they don't score, look at the area they're in, and you know, they might get a repeat set. They've got to make them work.
That was one thing Yorkshire did really well on Wednesday night, getting those repeat sets to build the pressure as well. And they'll come left again. They've had success down here so far. They're back on the inside though to John Hutchins. Oh, he's lost it.
He's lost it.
Apologies, it's Joe Shorrocks who's taken that in and come up with the little error.
Yeah, you're just going back to what you said, Matt, about getting repeat sets. You know how good, no matter what team you're playing or how good they are, they can only defend for so long. And if you keep knocking on the door, eventually it'll open. So it's important, if they can, Lancashire, to get some really, really good completions in that area.
But they're defending the right end of the field at the moment.
Yeah, certainly.
There's Bradman Best with that carry. Signs of changes for Australia. Here comes the big man, Franklin's here.
The big man's on.
Here he comes as Violetta with this carry.
When you were showing me the clips before of this fella, we saw it live in Newcastle, and it'd be nice to see him do some of these again.
Here's Jalal Bazaz.
I think he's lining up here, Matt.
Sean Violetta goes for a breather.
He's picking his space.
He's been ignored as Madden puts a little kick
That's
through.
a great kick, that, you know.
Tom
it's
Nisbet
a great
needs
kick
to deal with. Nisbet done well to get back into the field of play, and he's got up that right hand touchline and done well to stay on the island. He's done really well.
They've been lucky there, you know. They didn't give a penalty away, I think.
For the taxi.
Yes.
As Sim, the Lancashire try scorer, takes it in. Lancashire on the board inside. It's 72 seconds gone here this afternoon at the Manchester International Regional Arena. Nearly said international.
It's a great setup though, isn't it? Fantastic. Yeah. You know, we played our England Lions games here, and it's a fantastic facility. Superb.
There's Wingfield at dummy half. Goes to the right hand side to McDonald.
Oh!
It's come out backwards.
Oh, he's given it.
He's given it.
I think he's given the actual loss of ball hitting a contact of the man kind of thing, so having no control on the ball. Not watching him though, Matt. Not watching him.
No, it'd be interesting, this wind that's blowing in favour of Australia at the moment. They've not really taken much advantage of it, have they?
No. And I think most of the time they've not had to be fair, but you know, if Lancashire need it in that second half, it's always good to have, isn't it? To get you out of danger when you need to.
Lancashire just being forced into a change. Matt Foster heading off. tell you come on shortly. It is Joe Sharrett in 16. So Australia will start a metre inside the Lancashire half with Madden, who is kneeling to the line. Here's Alexander.
They've done their own work on these rocks. They're doing real well, Lancashire, in that area at the moment. Nice.
Big contact. There's an Australian man down on this far
Number
side
4.
to Manu Alexander. Here is Big
the big
Franklin.
man.
His first carry of the afternoon. I think they're aware of Big Franklin, aren't they? You heard the shouts. Pele will run around.
And you know what? I think he'll go again. He'll offer himself again if he gets the opportunity.
There's Gray at dummy half to Madden. That look forward
It did
to
to me,
Benny
yeah.
Teuper.
And we're right online here, Matt.
And the 10
This
out.
is a test for the Lancashire boys
Last
here.
tackle was Gray. Oh no, Ryan Gray's gone and Ryan Gray has scored. He's
can
got the
only
ball
keep him
down. 25th minute here at the Manchester Arena, and Ryan Gray does what Ryan Gray does best as he pinches one from dummy half to put the Australians ahead by 8 points to 4.
You know, the sign of a good hooker. We speak about him regular, and you know his dummy runs, his scoots down the short side, his plays, and they've kept him quiet with the rucks, but his vision is superb. You know, there's nothing on there. Nobody looks like anything's on, and he just takes an opportunity. I think he's one star name for the future, this kid.
And we eulogised about him on Sunday in Newcastle. Dave Parkinson and I at half time on Wednesday night. Ryan Gray came on and I said, just need to keep an eye on Ryan Gray. He's got the potential to turn this game, and in the space of 7 minutes he turned the game on its head. So he's definitely one for the future. He signed up with the Bulldogs in the NRL as well, and we were talking on Wednesday night that you've had so many famous players come through this. Latrell Mitchell was here with the Schoolboys last time. Is there a chance we could see any of this squad here for the World Cup in 2 years' time? Obviously, you never know.
No, you never know, especially the development, especially at 9. You know, I'm a believer in if you've got it, your vision's got to be superb at 9. And I've seen some kids and I've seen some great players in my time, but this kid's special, and I think he's a big name in the Aussie game.
As Jock Madden tags on the extras here at the regional arena. Coming up to 26 minutes gone, 10-4 the Australians lead at the moment. And you know, for the effort Lancashire have put in, it's maybe a little bit lopsided, this scoreboard at the moment.
Yeah, there's nothing in it. I don't think there's anything in it. I think that, you know, there's nothing in the sides, but they just look a little bit more composed at times. You know, the Lancashire get up there and we seem to want to score on 1 and 2, where the Aussies come here and they're playing 6, what they have to do. So if Lancs can do that and get some completions in good areas, you know, it's going to be very close.
Ball's just fallen off the kitchen tee, so Ben Davis will just take a step back. Again, gets it high, swirling around. It's a little bit deeper that time, and Stephen Crichton has plenty of time to take that in before John Hutchins brings him to ground.
Oh,
Best that.
yeah.
He's highly thought of up in the Hunter. Is Franklin
the big man.
Pellet. Handled him well so far.
He's certainly got a great surname, hasn't he?
Yeah. When you look back on this Australian touring side in a few years' time, you'll remember Franklin Pellet, you'll remember Jalal Bazaz. just by the names, won't you? As Talau drops it off. Oh, big hit that. Do you see the head?
Yeah, that
Benny
Talau's a
Teuper.
quality player as well. He just ticks them, he just keeps them moving one side to another, and that's a
gonna stay
fantastic
in.
kick.
Great kick,
Look at
great
the chase.
And Tom Nisbet's done really well in Lancashire.
We speak about body language, Matt Luke. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 players not behind the ball. It's been played. You know, fatigue is setting in. I think some changes have to be made.
And here they come. Trying to make a couple here, Lancashire. Hooker, 9 and 13 out the back. There's Leyland at dummy half.
Yeah, I think Wingfield's gone off at 9, and I think young Aidan Roden will come on. He comes from a good family, rugby league players. He plays at Wigan Warriors, so he'll be one to watch around the rucks.
Joe Sharrett. As Ethan Havard back out there.
Great
Gets it away
offload.
to Davies. He's on the last tackle. Oh, he's been taken out
Got a
there.
penalty here.
Yeah, he's just copped a little cheeky one round the chops after putting the kick in. Third penalty for Lancashire.
Is it 35, Matt, we're playing as well?
No, 40 today.
40 today, right, okay.
It was 40 on Wednesday, so I assume 40
So it's just
today.
the colleges, 35. Yeah. Good area now. They've just got to be composed though. They've got to complete the set.
And they'll start from 20 out as Davis to Havard. Ball's come out.
Oh, he's going to give it. Oh, we're lucky
The
there.
penalty. Lucky there.
We're lucky. I think he just lets the ball go.
I think he's had it knocked out, you know.
Do you?
Just the speed it came out. As Roden then gets Lancashire rolling again with Shorrocks. As Roden at dummy half. Come to this left hand side and Davis is Nisbet into the line.
Great
out for
ball.
the corner, great ball, great finish from Reece Hamlet in at the corner. 30 minutes gone here. And Reece Hamlet gets in at the corner for Lancashire. Great shape that time. Tom Nisbet's timed his run to perfection, and it's a great finish from Reece Hamlet in at the corner.
Yeah, and they've threatened it, Matt. They've threatened it a couple of times up in that area, but the execution-wise of Nesbitt behind the back, his ball's been behind him, or it's not been perfect for him, and he's outstretched, and Aussies have got at him defensively. This time, as you say, perfect pass, and then he picks a fantastic read out, misses the man out, it's the wing, and superb execution at the end.
And that's the second time on tour that Australia have been caught out down that defensive side by that kind of move. The first try for Jack Broadbent at Castleford on Wednesday night came off a very, very similar play as well, and maybe that's something that Tony Adam will be looking at on the review.
Yeah, and certainly something England will be looking at, I've no doubt, you know, looking forward to Saturday. You know, defensively in the middle, they're very strong, they dominate you, they put numbers on the ruck, but on the edges, they're probably not as good, so maybe that's the weakness we need to exploit.
Don't forget, next Saturday, 2 o'clock at the Sports Village, England against the Australian Schoolboys. If you can't make it to Leigh, you can watch the game on the Our League app. Tony Adam, Justin Holbrook, the Saints coach, is down not too far away from Tony Adam. As Sim with the conversion attempt, not got the legs, it's held up in the wing, so 8-10 here now at the regional arena.
Australia 10.
And also as well, if you notice, it's this left side where, you know, you get a bit of joy, I think, and it just shows. I know it's the easiest way to pass, don't get me wrong, from right to left, but it just seems as though maybe missed some communications on the Aussie right edge, so you've got to exploit it, keep going at it.
Crichton with that horrible swirling kick-off, it's well dealt with again by Ben Davis.
He's pinned in his own 5 though.
Very Pat Richards, he set the tone for those kind of kick-offs, didn't he?
Yeah, certainly did. And they put you under pressure, you know, Luke, you automatically think, where do we get out of here? So it's important to just be patient, go forward, complete the numbers, and then and a quality kick on back of it.
As Joe Sharrett takes it in. Oh, floated pass, just caused a few oohs and ahs there.
He's carried well, that kid, when he's come on. Is it Joe Sharrett? He's come on, he's carried well, he's had a really good stint. Young Roden's gone, but wow,
running to Pele.
He's running to the brick wall there.
On the last tackle. I think it's just a case of get that ball downfield. It's
not the best
nicely,
kicks though, are they?
But kicking into this wind, Alan, it's
true.
Best of a bad job, I think, at the moment.
Maybe put it a little bit higher and swirl it, you know. You never know what he's going to do.
Where it's come from. Penalty. Too quick.
What is the penalty count?
4-2 Lancashire at the moment.
You can hear the call on the field. No more penalties, boys. You can hear it. So.
As Australia starting 35 out, here is Teupa.
The big man's a bit wider again here.
Madden is going to beat Nezia. New on the drop, and here is Matt Dorey. Max Altus out there now as well. Ryan Gray's gone for a breather. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing.
I think it's always a good thing if he's not on field, but you know, knowing the Aussies, they've got quality reserves.
Great tackle, great stop from Tom Nisbet.
Oh,
if it isn't Altus, it's Gray. trying to steal one as Dragosic at dummy half gets it back to
What a
Madden.
ball. What a ball.
Here's Crichton for the corner.
Oh, that's
Crichton
fantastic
for the
rugby,
corner will
that.
Score. And Australia hit back straight away. 34 minutes on the clock. What a pass from Talau. Superb.
Amazing, amazing.
In at the corner.
It's not in his hands and he's released it. The man's in front of him. The ball literally just got to his hands and it's gone again. Superb skills.
And Australia lead by 14 points to 8.
Try for Australia, number 2, Stephen Crichton.
And I think that's what they've got in the tank, you see, and that's where, you know, defensively Lancashire have to be stronger, because as much pressure as they're going at them and putting line speed on them, you know, they've simply got that skill factor about them where they can offload under pressure so quickly. So, you know, it's a tough one.
And on the back of conceding that last try to Reece Hamlet, that's exactly what Tony Adam would have been looking for. What a response.
Yeah, certainly.
Jock Madden just trying to pinch an inch, and Craig Smith just directing him a little closer to the sideline. Wind behind. Be looking to float this in Morley on the wind.
Yeah, he's a good kicker, as we've seen, but you know, it's not the easiest of kicks. And like you said, his leg is quite heavily strapped at the top there, isn't it?
So Jock Madden then off that left sideline. As once again we welcome viewers on the eastern seaboard in Australia to the hourly gap. Just gone 1 o'clock in the morning down in Sydney, as Madden with the kickers had it waved away. So 14-8 it is, still a 6
And the
point
score
game.
is Lancashire.
Lancashire still in this, aren't they?
Australia
Yeah, and it's,
14.
you know what, it's probably the most important part of the half this now. There's just over 4.5 minutes left on our time. So it's really important Lancashire stay focused, don't give any more points away. And I think they'll be quite happy going in with 6 points behind against the wind, to be honest.
Just gone 1:05 in New South Wales, just gone midnight, just turned Sunday in Queensland. An hour difference at this time of year between the two states. No summertime in Queensland, that's why. They don't move the clocks.
But it's warmer than that.
It rains though at this time of year in Queensland apparently.
Does it?
Davis with the...
It's a great kick again, that.
And that's going
It's
to
a
go back. There's an
fantastic
offside player
kick.
there.
He's got to be offside.
That's Madden. Surely it came off an Australian player.
Wow.
Well,
Unless the linesman sees something we didn't see, Matt, but that was clear as day for me. Big Crichton there, he jumps and he fumbles the ball.
fumbles it,
And
knock
the man's
on,
in front.
offside, take
Yeah.
Them's the breaks, and Yorkshire didn't get a break on Wednesday night at times as well, but here's
Great line speed.
big collision. Ethan Havard, he's felt that as Benny Teuper, as ball comes out to Niu to Altus, and Altus can't hang on.
Got to go forward.
It's going to be a knock on against Max Altus.
Great scramble.
I know, just a little bit of afters there with Niu and with Tom Nisbet, and a few handbags flying about here at the moment. Craig Smith quickly taking control of it.
I think they're just letting each other know we'll see you next Saturday as well. You know, so it's good to see. It's that bit of it means something. So you know, nobody wants to lose at all, and I know these Lancashire boys don't. So it's really important that we let them know that we're still here. You might be winning, but we're not going away.
Craig Smith just wants to have a chat, possibly with the two captains. I think some mouth guards come out. Oh, it's GPS units
Yeah.
that have fallen out of the back of the shirts.
Is that thing you just come on also? I think there has been a change.
He's in 6. Is Sam Halsall.
We just took the big fella off for lunch. He's just gone off 10. Nathan Wild.
I don't think Nathan Wild was out there.
Yeah, I mean, he's just put bib on over
He's
there
put a
now.
bib on,
And I think it's Alsall, I'm not too sure. Find out in a second.
This is John Hutchins though, from Saints,
Jared O'Connor's come on, number 5.
as Sam Royal takes that in, gets 5 short at halfway, is Roden at dummy half, goes to the left to Joe Shorrocks. lots of Wiganers in this side here this afternoon. So go down.
Good footwork, great footwork there
from Joe Sharrett. As Roden waits at dummy half. Goes to the right hand side. Here
nice
is
tape.
Leyland into the line. Here is Royal again. Got it
nice
out.
Offload.
Good offload. Here's Sharrett again.
Maybe should have gone there. Maybe should have gone
by
there.
Matt Dory on the last tackle. Repeat set would be nice. Here is Sim, just drops it onto the ground. It's come off the feet of the Australian and he's collected. Timano Alexander, good skills there from Alexander. But Lancashire on the back foot, need to get this defence set
They're looking to play the ball quick as well, Matt, and it's good tactics there from Lancashire, slowing it down. Oh, the big man!
Franklin Pele comes up with the error. Chance for... Going to go back.
One of the smallest men on the field, Aidan Roden's just welcomed the big man.
You see, I'm surprised that's not an Australia scrum, because they've played an advantage by passing the ball and then knocked on.
Yeah.
Time off call by Craig Smith at the moment. I think we're on the referee's watch today.
Yeah, we're
on a rolling clock, so there will be probably another couple of minutes left here in this first half. As Roden from the base gets it to Leyland. Here is Royal again. Royal's got through that first challenge from Junan Compain. Can Lancashire strike before the break as Havard goes again? Need to keep coming towards this left hand side because that's where they've had the success so far, and here they come. Here is Davis into the line, comes Nisbet. Probably didn't quite time the run right that time, and penalty given. Fifth one of the half.
Do you ask how long? Do you ask him how long? I'd be asking how long personally though.
Yeah, but goal kicking's hard.
It is, but it's...
There's time enough for...
Oh!
Big Franklin introduces himself to Joe Sharrett as Roden at dummy half. Goes to the right hand side. Here's Leyland into the line.
Nice.
Nisbet, good hands. Dummy and go. Oh, it should have gone.
Great cover. Tallow again, the sixth there for the
Jaden
Aussies.
Hatton should have gone to John Hutchins. Here is Hutchins, and Hutchins tries to go. There was a man all in the middle of the ruck. And that is it, half time here at the Manchester Regional Arena. Good first half showing from Lancashire Academy. They made the perfect start. Josh Sim getting over with 72 seconds on the clock. He was unable to convert. Australia hit back though. Junan Compain crossing before Ryan Gray sneaks over from dummy half. Goal by Jock Madden. Lancashire hit back though. Again down that left hand side. Reece Hamlet getting in at the corner. Australia hitting back again. Stephen Crichton crossing after a great pass from Tommy Talau. So 14-8 Australia lead at half time. And Alan, your thoughts on that first half?
I think it's been really good. You know, we spoke after 10-15 minutes, they were throwing the ball everywhere, there was errors in the game, but you know what, if both teams are doing it, it just shows they want to play rugby. I think if you sum the half up, I think Lancashire's best chance is always come down our left channel. I think if we contain the Aussies in the middle of the big pack, you know, and stop that quick play where they get us on edges, I think we're in for an interesting half. But all round, I think Lancashire's performed really well.
Do you think Lancashire can use this win to their advantage in the second half to try and keep the Australians pinned down this end of the field?
Yeah, well, it's certainly a tactic you want to use. I think what's important is, you know, as good as the kick is, I think the chase has to be really good and really put pressure on them there.
Half time here at the Manchester Regional Arena. Australia lead by 14 points to 8. Stay with us here. We'll be back for the second half in about 7 or 8 minutes time. And welcome back to the Manchester Regional Arena on the Our League app. It's half time here where Australia Schoolboys lead Lancashire Academy by 14 points to 8. Lancashire will have quite a strong win behind them in this second half, so hopefully they can make the most of it. Alan Coleman is alongside me this afternoon, and Alan, what do you think the message from Ian Talbot would be to the Red Rose boys?
I just think I think you commented on it before. Very similar to what you said, Matt. I think they'll be play 2 or 3, maybe 4 max players, and look to put it in these corners and keep them down in this area, because they'll see the Aussies as not as a threat as if they're in their own yardage. So I think that's the clear message. Let's get them to the areas they're not comfortable with.
As Crichton with the kick-off.
See, they brought Jack Wellsby on as well, and knowing Jack well, he's a real threat, and he is one for the future. So the Aussies will have to keep their eye on Jack.
So first set of this second half here at the regional arena. That's a great carry out of the back to Leyland. Crichton with the interception, and it's going to turn into the worst start to the second half for Lancashire. 28 seconds on the clock, and Stephen Crichton picks up a second try for the Australian Schoolboys. It looked like Lancashire had just got that little bit of space just to find some movement, and Crichton's pulled a rabbit out of the hat, and Australia lead by 18 points to 8.
Well, if we go off the first half, I think Lancashire got to start like the Aussies have just got. So hopefully, if we can turn it around like the Aussies turned the first half around. But yeah, we look to get the half break there, and just one offload too many. It was unfortunate. Great read by the winger, and just unfortunate for us it didn't work. And
you can't give the likes of Stephen Crichton space like that, can you? Because you're just not going to catch him, are you?
No. He's a big, powerful unit, and he's got some pace on him, and like you say, you're not going to stop him in them areas. So it's a case of starting the half again, Matt.
What do you think the message would have been from Tony Adam to his Australian boys at half time?
I think he just said, look, we're testing them when we're defending. They're not getting much yardage coming out of their own half, and we're putting good numbers on, and there is a few errors, but just keep putting them under pressure, because that's what the Aussies thrive off, teams under pressure.
Ryan Gray is back out there as well now for the Australians. As Jock Madden then with this conversion attempt. Madden gets the kick away. He's hooked that across the face of the post. It's not an afternoon for goal kicking here in Manchester, but the Australians lead by 18 points to 8.
And they're not easy kicks, but I think what you can say from that is, because they're not easy kicks, it's a testimony to all the defence, because you've got to score in the corner. They're not getting nothing through the middle channels.
The only try that's been scored near the post was that little dart from dummy half, as Crichton fields the kick-off. He's going to let Sean Vivaletta run this back, and he's put to ground 15 away from the line as Talau at dummy half. Here is Crichton, 2 tries for him now.
I'd like to see his carries in this game, Matt, because he's took 1 or 2 in every set, and especially in yardage. He's took some carries, this young man has.
I think Stephen Crichton's made a meal of that, and he's given the penalty now. Just trying to wait for some advantage, but I have a couple of things with that. One, Crichton stepped over the man to play the ball instead of getting up and playing it, and he's made a bit of a meal of it, hasn't he?
Yeah, and it's you see it in Super League where they throw the ball behind the man at the ruck, and to me it's not the greatest sportsmanship you can have, and you hit the nail on the head by
big
climbing
hit.
over him.
That on Vivaletta. There's Gray at dummy half. Here is Madden to Neo into the line. It's been overrun and play's gone wrong.
He's got to give a knock on. He did it in the first half.
And Australia coming up with the error. It's Matt Dorey who got the line wrong.
I like the halfback for the Aussies.
Jock.
Yeah, I like him. He digs in. As soon as he gets on that overs, he digs right back on unders, and he moves that defender over, and he creates space for the talented fullback, which the Aussies have got. And if the execution's right, they're always a threat in them areas.
Zach Sini also out there for the second half. Tommy Saab has gone for a breather as Lancashire with ball in hand. As Hutchins in off the wing.
That's very close to penalty times, them on them rucks.
Rucks haven't been the quickest all afternoon, though,
no.
to be fair, as Sharrett tries to get down that left channel.
Oh.
Ball's in the hands of Sam Royal. Trying to be a little bit more expansive, Lancashire, in this second half, as Wellesby at dummy half gets it in field.
Last tackle. We've got to come up with a good option here now.
They'll go to the left-hand side. Oh, they've
Just
just
the last. Did they know it's the last?
Yep, ball's come out and it's back in the hands of the
The
Australians.
Aussies touched that, you
It's
know.
been stolen
That's a
out,
knock-on from the Aussies for me.
And he's
Ah,
given
he's
a
not
knock-on
given
against Lancashire. And Australia will start 25. I'm not too sure about that one.
No, well, you know, they didn't. I don't think they realised it was the last. They looked to offload and it didn't phase, but the Aussies put pressure on. I'm sure his hand touched it personally. But
As Jaden Tanner takes it in for the Australians, as Ryan Gray at dummy half goes the right hand side to Matt Dorey. As Gray waits at dummy half again, goes the left hand side that time to
great carry.
Toa.
That Gray just watch it on. You know, he just goes that short side, that over side. He's just spotting either side of the ruck there. And he look at the yards they've made from it.
It's Gray at dummy half to Madden. Madden drops it off to Vivaletta.
Great D.
Yeah, Lancashire muscling up there. Last tackle, only 40 metres made by the Australians on this set, as it's back to Talau, and Talau goes high. That'll just hang in the wind as Talau takes and
Should never
Talau
let a ball bounce as we
gets it
sport.
away. Australia looking to go through the hands. It's with Best. Here's danger. Bradman Best looks to
This
get on
lad's
the
got some
outside.
pace, and do you know
Bradman
what?
Best has got some pace, and Bradman Best is going to get in for Australia. Brings it in 6 yards away from the post. Referee's going to have a look and he's going to point to the spot. 47 minutes on the clock, and Bradman Best picks up Australia's second try and a half. We needed Lancashire to start big, I'm afraid. And Australia now lead by 22 points to 8.
We spoke before, you know, I think it was the winger this side for Lancashire, Reece Hamlet. He let the ball bounce, and you said you shouldn't. They let it bounce there. Well, they didn't let it bounce. They didn't put a challenge in for it, and it didn't work for them that time. You cannot afford to do that at this level. No.
And Tommy Talau wasn't going to pass up the opportunity, was he?
No. And I think it's in range and for the half-back jock to have the extras on.
Jock Madden. Possibly the easiest kick he's had all afternoon. With the conversion attempt for the Australian Schoolboys. And this time he stuck the flags up here at the Manchester Regional Arena. 8 and a bit minutes gone in this second half. 24-8 now in favour of Australia, and it's a long way back for the Red Rose here now, Alan.
The scores are just going away from them again, and you know, I think this half they've not looked like anything like in the first half, Matt. You know, they've got to get back to getting some ball in hand. The Aussies have had a hell of a lot of possession in this 8 minutes we've had, so it's really important Lancashire try to get the ball back and ask questions of them. I know they've changed the nines again for Lancashire.
Jake Wingfield back out there as Davies goes high. Crichton waits and fields 10 away from his own line and decides to bring it back himself. And Lancashire just need to muscle up big on defence here, don't they? Keep these Australians pinned.
Yeah, certainly. Even if it's numbers, just get numbers on the big fellas here now. Slow that ruck, peel off real slow, bodies in front, use your body weight getting up and slow the game right down.
Here's Junan Compayne, the first Australian try scorer this afternoon. It's Gray at dummy half, gets it to Talau. Talau has certainly been impressive today.
Yeah, good kid, really controlled. He's always knows what's going on. He knows what he wants from his players. He knows where he wants them to be.
Good footwork from the big man, Jaden Tanner. It's gone up the middle, gets it to Niu. And Niu's wrapped up 20 away at last tackle. Australia have got big numbers right. Gray goes that way to Madden. Long pass
What a
from
ball.
Madden finds Zach Sini. 6 tries on tour so far for him. Can he get a 7th as Sini goes for the corner? He's going to be put over the sideline.
Great cover.
And it will be a handover, and great scramble from the Red Rose boys there, Alan.
Yeah, real good, you know, and it weren't good down the middle channel, but they've come and they've had a go, and they stopped a certain try there. But looking at body language again, Matt, if you can see them down there, it's who's having it, and they've got to reload and go, ask questions. The Aussies just seem to have the steam.
So Lancashire trapped on their own line at the moment. Big D from Jaden Tanner. And Lancashire need to get out of this end, and we've seen it in both games so far. When they want to turn up on defence, these Australians, they will do, won't they?
Yeah, certainly, and they're just in control of every area at the moment.
Matt Dragosic out there as well, involved in that tackle there. There's Wellsby. Gets 5 short of halfway. Is Leyland. Drops it off to Shorrocks on the last tackle.
It's the last. It'd be interesting to see who's doing the kick in. It's Wellsby at the back.
It's too deep, it's going to go dead.
Yeah, he's gone for space, but he's gone too long, unfortunately.
Need to take that.
But what's very impressive is Matt, look at the Aussies, all behind the ball, ready to go. You know, we saw in the first half, you know, Lancashire were struggling to get back on situations similar to this.
As Crichton takes it in, wrapped up by James McDonald.
Not needed.
Just
Not
went back
needed.
in for that second effort, and a few of the Australian parents happy with that decision. Can't be inviting them, can you?
No. Especially, it's tough enough. It's tough enough to stop this barrage of go forwards, which they're showing in this half. But give them an extra 20 yards, it's crazy.
Talau gets it away to Dragosic. As Gray waits at dummy half. Talau again getting lots of ball on hand. Here's Jalal Bazaz. As Gray waits at dummy half to the left to Talau, and it's been dropped by Junan Compane, and Lancashire will get the scrum, 10 short of halfway. It's happened again, hasn't it, though? It happened on Wednesday night at Castleford. They've come out and it's like they've had a gear change at half time, haven't they?
This is though, you know, when you ask questions and you say, you know, we're going to give you a good run for your money. The Aussies say, well, we'll go next year now, we'll step up a little bit more, and they seem to do it, and you've got to applaud that.
It's like a bit like a boxing match, isn't it? Where they just first 5 or 6 rounds where they're just feeling each other out, getting the range and getting the jabs in, and all of a sudden they've got to that 7th round and getting to the back end of the fight, and they've just come out swinging, haven't they?
Yeah.
Looking for that knockout punch.
Yeah, and I think they've got it in the first 10 minutes of this half, Matt. You know, and they've come and, like you said, they've done blow for blow,
and you can see that line speed there.
Yeah, and that's been all game so far, and that's a very impressive thing, and it stems through every team the Australians have.
To try down this right hand side with Jaden Hatton.
But look at the ruck, look how dominant he is. Look, he uses his body weight to get up, and it's just so slow because he dominates that ruck.
Leyland with the drop off. As Davis on the last tackle doesn't get the kick away. You heard the frustrated cries of Ben as he gets taken to ground.
Sorry, they have just changed the 9. Sorry, I got it wrong last time. So hopefully they can quick the rucks up now. You might get a bit of joy on back of that. It's really important to do so.
There's Tessie Niu for the Australians. Gray at dummy half. Goes down that right hand side. Here is Crocker. Got to be honest, it looks more like Star Tour in 15, and I think Harry Crocker's got 16 on, and here he is. Here is Bazaz to Talau dummy stops, goes, tries to come back across the grain and gets no change from the Lancashire defence. As Gray waits up, he's knocked that on. There we go, got it.
So there is errors in him. He does make mistakes.
Wasn't Ryan Gray who knocked on.
Right. Thought it was too good to be true.
Hive of activity around the Etihad campus this afternoon. Of course, Manchester City just behind us, taking on AFC Bournemouth in the Premier League this afternoon. As we have a cracking view over the Manchester skyline from our position here this afternoon. Lots more tall buildings going up in Manchester at the moment. Not been into the city for a while. And there once used to be the Beetham Tower, and there's about 4 now.
It's unrecognisable at times now, isn't it?
It's amazing what happens. As Lancashire then, ball in hand, get inside the Australian half. Let's see if they can get another try on the board with Sharrett.
It's important they score next, Matt. Real important they score next.
Here's Leyland, goes short this time.
Good line, good option then.
Something different, isn't it?
Yeah,
Rather than having,
as you saw Tommy Talau shoot out, you know, that lead runner could have got him on his inside, and it's important you keep him guessing.
McDonald, last tackle, got to be a better finish this time from Lancashire though. As Wingfield at dummy half, Leyland just drops it onto the ground. It's too long again. And idea's right, execution's wrong.
Yeah, you know, we've seen every kick from Lancashire unfortunately go dead or go down the foot. The kicking game hasn't been great, so you can hear young Wellesby at the back saying, let's run it. Instead of the kick, let's run at them. So maybe that's the option they need to go down.
As Australia then bring it away with Bradman Best.
Great power though. He's some play this Best, isn't he?
He's great at dummy half. Here is Bazaz. Oh, good solid hit on Bazaz.
Yeah, great hit.
Bazaz has lost it, and Ryan Gray not happy. And
that was the loose forward for Lancashire, James McDonald. I think he's a Wigan lad.
He is. 13 on 13 there. Don't forget, next Saturday at the Sports Village, 2 o'clock, England Academy taking on these Australian boys. I'll be there for that one. Is it me and you next Saturday? I don't know.
I'm not too sure. I'm
definitely there. I know that. And then Dave Parkinson will be here for the second test at Emerald Headingley a week on Friday. It's a £5 to get in for adults if you want to get to those games. Get yourselves there and support these England Academy lads. If you can't get there, both games of course will be live on the Our League app.
I think we're in for a crack on Saturday, Matt. I think, you know, you combine Lancashire and Yorkshire academies, which we've seen both of them this week, and I think the Aussies are in for a real tough game on Saturday.
So here come Lancashire. Wingfield at dummy half. Goes to the right. McDonald out at the back to Davis, and good hands down this left hand side. Here is Sim. Can he stay on the field of play? He can.
He's done well staying there.
He has. Here is Hamlet at dummy half. Gets it in field to Davis. This is Ethan Havard.
Great
offload. Back to Leyland. Can Leyland get away from Best? No.
Numbers short side, Matt.
Got to come this right hand side quickly. Have they got the defence organised? They have. Here is Wellesby. Wellesby has to stop and go back open. Gets the long ball. Finds Sim. Sim with one step. Good footwork from Sim, and Sim spins. Just can't get the arm out.
Wingfield could go at 9 here.
Wingfield.
Oh, that's a fantastic ball.
Pass. Superb from Wingfield, and Lancashire pick up yet another try. Just coming up to 60 minutes gone, and another try for Lancashire. It is Sam Halsall in 6 who's got that one.
Well, I don't like saying I coached Jake from being a young age, Matt, and we worked on them in training ground quite a bit. So hopefully, no, fantastic vision. He's looped up. He saw the Aussies shoot off the line to put pressure on, and he just looped it over the top. Fantastic ball. Great finish, and game on. We're back in it.
They're giving a try to Reece Hamlet on the PAM. It was Sam who scored it, wasn't it? Yes, definitely. Yeah. Gonna change your kicker, Ben Davis. Getting the duties now. Seen quite a few faces in the crowd at half time. John Duffy, the league coach, is here.
Ian Watson's
here. Justin Holbrook has also been spotted in the ground, as has Terry O'Connor. Plenty of support here for these England boys. Paul Wingfield as well, Lee Wingfield as well.
I know Fitz is here from Warrington, so you know all the big clubs are here. There's hell of a lot of talent on show here today, Matt. So
he's trying to curl
why
that
wouldn't
round,
you be?
and he's not curled it round far enough. So 24-12 now to the Australians as we get into this last quarter of the game here at the Manchester Regional Arena. Said it again, need to score next Lancashire, don't they?
Certainly do, Matt. And
but this is a big period now, because we know some of these Lancashire boys haven't played for maybe 6 to 8 weeks. These Australians' third game in a week,
and that could take a bit of a telling. You know, they've trained, they've played. Oh, great take, fantastic skill there.
And he's managed to hit the deck as well.
It could go either way. It could go against the guys who's not played for fatigue, or it could go to the guys who's played too much in space of days. So it'd be interesting to see which way it goes now.
Wingfield then gets it to Wellesby. Here is Leyland, who's impressed this afternoon, the young Londoner.
Yeah, he certainly has. But I think Lancashire have got it in their minds now. They're going to play. They're going to go to edges, and that's where they're getting joy. And if you look now, I think they will ask questions and they'll look to play at them. They're not going to get nothing down the middle for me.
And do you think Dave Elliott will be aware that this right edge of Australia's defence hasn't been the best so far?
Well, certainly will. You know, they'll watch the videos and they'll do their own work. And good offload. They're going to that edge again, aren't they?
Gets it to Wellesby. Wellesby pops it back up inside. Just maybe let this ball.
They rattle here. The Aussies a bit, you know. And it's not sideways running what Lancashire are doing. It's just playing from one end to another constantly. We've got it back. Oh yeah. Oh.
Knock on should be against Australia here for mine.
I don't know what he's give there. I really don't know what he's give.
Let's give the knock on against Lancashire.
But don't the Aussies jump for the ball and retrieve it, kind of thing?
He's ruled the ball's come back off Australia and then been knocked on by a Lancashire.
All right, okay, fair call. An error would be nice here, no disrespect, but if Lancashire can force an error, they've got ball again.
Here comes Big Franklin though. About to get back out there.
The great Pelé.
Referee's not happy with something.
Yeah, there's been a few times he's blown up at scrums, Matt, have you noticed? You know, for some reason he's not happy, but...
It's Best then, down this left edge. Big collision there with Josh Sim, and Bradman Best is told to go back and play it. Neo at dummy half. He'll go on his own now. Ryan Gray at dummy half. Madden finds Dragosic. It's Gray again at dummy half. Ryan Gray, we've seen him do this on tour so many times. Gets to halfway and wins the penalty.
Just when you're just defending well and you're balling and you're going well, and you just give that silly penalty.
3-0 penalty count in favour of the Australians in this second half as well. That's evened it up throughout the match.
It's just so
tough catching the crowd. Well held, sir.
So tough against them anyway, Matt, and give penalties like that so that you have to defend again. He's here, the big fella.
Here he is, Franklin Pelé. Taken to ground by John McDonald, who's Gray at dummy half. to Talau. This is Benny Teuper.
You've got to be careful here. Momentum-wise.
It's Gray at dummy half to Madden. Madden looks to go on his own. Madden's held 3 away from
We'll
the
go to
line.
Talau this side now.
Need to watch Gray going from dummy half though, as well, as Gray gets it to Talau.
What a
Great
ball.
pass to Bradman Best, and Bradman Best picks up his second try of the afternoon. 66th minute here at the Manchester Regional Arena, and Bradman Best gets his second try of the afternoon, and the Australians lead by 28 points to 12.
We've spoke about Tommy Talau, we've spoke about Ryan Gray, and for me, this kid, is it Bradman Best?
Bradman, yeah.
Bradman Best. You know, if I was a Super League coach, I'd be certainly keeping an eye on this fellow. His sheer power, especially every time he carries the ball, he's so powerful.
Do you think what's even more frightening is that Tommy Talau may have played a couple of years over here as well?
Yeah. Frightening he's been.
Well, his dad was over at Saints.
Yeah, correct. I think he probably has, and if anything, he'd probably been involved at the Blackbrick Club, because I know Willie Talau was always seen around there at times at Saints. So
Jock Madden with the conversion attempt again then for the Australians.
So we can take the credit then for his development, can we, Matt?
Yeah. Trying to get a bit of a win that way, yeah. Here is Madden then. I think he's pushed that. Oh, flags have gone up here at the regional arena. 30 points to 12 then in favour of the Australians. I mean, I spoke to Tony Adam, the Australian coach, on Wednesday night, and they were aware that every game they had through this week, last week, was going to get tougher and tougher and tougher, and I think they've prepared for a really tough game today, haven't they?
Yeah, they certainly have. You could tell with the starting lineup. I don't think it'd be much different than what they play on Saturday, the starting 13. I think that's probably the best starting 13. Maybe the winger might choose in young senior, and depending on who he goes with.
Great kick-off.
That is a great kick.
It's New Fields.
I was just going to say to you, Matt, I hope they don't kick to Crichton again, because it's become too much and it's easy for him, so they have changed that.
Here's Big Franklin. And Franklin Pellet gets the legs going and won't go to ground. Held is the cry. Good quick play of the ball. Max Altus back out there, scoots, and Altus is away. He's got Neo on the inside. Altus is going to go on his own, and Max Altus doesn't.
Oh, he didn't need to pass.
And Tommy Talau had somebody on his back.
He didn't need to pass.
Altus at dummy half gets it to Neo.
That
down this right hand side to Alexander, and Tamano Alexander is ruled held up. I think Bradman Best has gone for a breather.
You know, when we speak about Ryan Gray a lot, and today the interchange 9, he's probably made more breaks than anyone on the field.
Here's Big Franklin winding up, and Franklin Pele scored in Newcastle. Doesn't get there at the moment. Last tackle for Australia. Altus at dummy half. Here is Talau. He's lost it backwards. That should be play on, and Talau just puts the little kick in over the top. It's not the best from Tommy Talau. It's probably one of the poorest kicks we've seen as Ben Davis looks to bring it back away for the Lancashire lads. I think Max Altus should have just stuck the nose down there and gone for it himself.
I think he's gone. He's done the hard work.
Jared O'Connor for Lancashire and will win the penalty. First one of the half for the Red Rose. I mean, 12 minutes left. We can start looking ahead to the Sports Village next Saturday now, and it's going to be a titanic clash, isn't it?
Yeah, it's something I'm really looking forward to. I really, I know it's a bold statement what I'm going to say, but I think the England boys can do it. I really do. I just looking at it, I know the Aussies are a class side, but I just think they've got it in them. I think they'll take a lot of confidence from the Wednesday's game and today's game.
10 inside the Australia half as Lancashire bring it forward with Joe Shorrocks. To this right hand side,
nice
back
ball
on the inside from Wingfield.
He's had a good game, Wingfield. I think he maybe gone 2.5 or loose forward now. They've brought young Rodin on at 9 to nice.
Wellesby with the pass to Josh Seaman. No, Josh Sims just gone for that one pass too many, and it's Final touch.
Handbags are out.
Handbags are out again.
I think Lancashire's approach this half now, they brought Aidan Roden back to behind the ruck. They put Wingfield as maybe another playmaker, so they'll have two halves. They've got Wingfield who can play, they've Roden and they've Wellesby at the back. So, you know, they're going for it. They've got 4 or 5 playmakers on the field all at the same time.
Got to admit, there has been some needle in these England-Australia games in the past. I can't remember which year it was. I think I'm going back a long, long time ago, and it's one of the biggest fights I've ever seen on a rugby pitch.
I remember that, yeah.
I think it was around the Richard Mathers era, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think
those
it
kind
was
of guys.
a friend of mine was playing at the time, Chris Lee, I think, and he was at Widnes at the time, and it escalated quite bad, didn't it?
Yeah, it did, yeah. I think the game was at Headingley as well when it all went off that night. It was
second test.
2002, going back a few years, so England won that series by 2-0.
And long may let's hope it happens this year, eh?
Well, thanks to Steve Manning for that nugget of information.
Steve will know though.
Robinson playing and Ryan Bailey. Hell of a team.
Dwayne Barker would have been another one in that team.
Steve will know the answers to that. Steve's old enough to know the answer to that, aren't you, Steve?
I was lucky enough to do the commentary for the DVDs for that. Superb. We won the fight in that second one at Headingley, which was even better.
Winning the fight and the game as June and Compain takes it in. Not that we condone any of that.
No, we certainly don't. We certainly don't.
No bit.
There's Altus at dummy half. Gets it to Teupa. We don't see any of that anymore, do we? Every game's videoed and you're at red all quicker than...
And you know what, Matt? You know, I'm a believer in the game's tough enough anyway. You know, if you play this game properly and correctly and as hard as you can, it's tough. You're not playing any other sport, what's tougher?
As Australia 12 short of halfway. Jason Saab back out there as well now.
Could this be a tactical ploy as, you know, the game may be past us now and let's really work these fellas and make them work hard and
charge down on Madden's kick as Niu gets back there and it's another set of 6 and
I thought he touched it.
No, it was charged down.
So they've got to defend again.
It's Madden at dummy half, gets it to Franklin Pellet, and you know Franklin's been well looked after these last 2 games. I think everybody's aware of him and he's lost that, surely.
Oh, we're going again.
Oh, here we go. And the punches this time. Joe Sharrett.
I'll tell you something, the linesman were quickest in there. He's got some pace, that linesman.
I think we might be seeing a couple of cards here.
Like I said to you before, while we've got a minute in play, you know, some of these guys aren't playing against England on Saturday. I mean, against the Aussies on Saturday. So, you know, it's a case of, it's my last chance I'm going to play against you. I'm going to give everything I've got now. So bodies are going in, bodies are flying.
Tony Adams realised this and wants to get Big Franklin out of there.
Yes.
And they can't take him off at the moment.
I think that's why they took Ryan Gray.
Tara Jones has just stopped Franklin going anywhere and said, get back out there. I'd be very, very surprised if at least Joe Sharrett doesn't get sat down for 10 minutes. And maybe Franklin might just go with him just for swinging one back.
That'd be a mismatch in a boxing ring, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
I think he's called both captains for so, like, you know, there's 7 minutes or so left. You know, let's see it going. It's been a fantastic game. Let's not get silly and just finish it out. Let's see it out.
They get easily rattled though, don't they?
Well, yeah, you know, and
that's always good. That's something Dave Elliott might just be sat somewhere, just making a little note, saying get in the faces.
Yeah.
And then that is the end of Franklin Pellet. I doubt we'll see him again this afternoon.
But what you've got to remember is, as much as you're in the faces, you know, how do they react to that? And most of the time, 9 times out of 10, it's quality what comes from them on the back of it. So
Madden with the touch finder.
Who's taking this one?
It's going to be Startor who gets us back underway. It is Sean Vivaletta who's back out there for Big Franklin. Altus at dummy half. Here is Dragosic on the drop off and still getting the shots in of the Lancashire lads at the moment. As Altus goes to the right hand side to Madden. Madden for Toa. As Altus waits at dummy half. Here is
Talau's
Madden. Here is Talau, Niu into the line, and Niu gets to the edge, straight through the hands. Here's Saxini for 7th try. The Turin Saxini has been put in touch. Flag's just gone
He
up.
actually got the ball down, but his foot was in touch, so how he did that is
Do you know,
fantastic.
there was just that little bit of hesitation from Saxini that stopped him getting in at the corner there.
Great defence though, you know, great cover, great slide from the Lancashire lads.
So there's probably about 7 or 8 minutes left here. We're on a rolling clock here on screen. We have had a couple of stoppages due to a few handbags flying about.
Difference of opinions, as we say.
Yeah.
It's certainly not like Newcastle with the crowd, Matt, when he was constantly.
He was getting get behind the boys. Balls come out, penalty. I think. I get the feeling that Craig Smith didn't really want to come and blow the pee out of the whistle, but the way it's gone these last few moments.
I think he's ref well. I think
he's
he's when things needed stopping and calming him down, he's done that, and when things needed penalising, he's done that, and I think he's had a really good game, the ref, this afternoon.
So here come Lancashire then, a couple short of halfway. As Wellesby to Wingfield. Davis into the line will show and go.
Like I said before, Matt, they're playing with 3-4 pivots now, Lancashire, and you know that ball's going left to right, right to left, and
another offload. Didn't give Aidan Roden much chance though. Wingfield at dummy halves in the middle of the ruck. I'd
have liked him to play on there, you know, and I know he's given a penalty, we get another 6, but if they play on, maybe we get some joy. They're going to look to that right edge again though.
Here come Lancashire again then. 10 out with John McDonnell, plays it to Roden. Good hands here is Wellesby. Wellesby with the offload. Can Lancashire get
I think
a
they've got him on
try?
this. Oh, look at the scramble of the Aussies though. Look how they pushed them from the middle.
Gone short, and he's in. Try.
They look forward to me, to be honest.
Nathan Wild points to the spot, does Mr. Smith, but it's Nathan Wild with the try. 76 minutes on the clock. 4th try of the afternoon for Lancashire, but it's the Australians who lead by 30 points to 16.
Yeah, great. You know, they've worked on, like we spoke before, left to right, right to left. The ball's been moving. They've got 3 or 4 pivots on, and they look tired. For the first time I've seen the Aussies, they look tired. And, you know, and they will be, but you will tire people out by moving them constantly, and they've done that for the last couple of minutes.
3rd game in 6 days for these Australians. They'll get a week off now. Before we get to Lee next Saturday, just a reminder, 2 o'clock kick-off in the UK, 1 a.m. Sunday morning in Sydney, midnight if you're in Queensland, here on the Our League app. Surely is going to be a great afternoon's entertainment at the Sports Village if you can get yourselves along.
What would be interesting though, Matt, if we could maybe get something from this next set of 6, you know, and
just to put the nerves up on a little bit.
Yes, certainly, and I've no doubt he'll kick that. So
as
there's
Ben
2
Davis
tries in it.
tags on the conversion. It's Lancashire 18, Australia 30. We did do a few predictions pre-game before we went live on air. You did tip the Red Rose boys, and
yeah, I did. Yeah,
I was completely disloyal and said Australia by 8. So,
and it's looking like you might be bang on. It's not like me get things wrong.
Crichton with the kick-off then. Let's see what Lancashire have got. They're going to go from deep here. But it's good cover from Sean Vivaletta. Good run, good offload, but managed to keep hold of the ball. Tom Nisbet just drops on it.
like I spoke to before, and I keep saying it, but look at the difference in having a couple of more pivots on the field, Matt.
Yeah.
They look miles more confident, Lancashire, and I think England could maybe take that on board maybe next week, having maybe one or two options maybe on the bench, so they can really have a go at them in situations like this.
Good little
it's a great kick. Maybe just too deep, but
as near field. It's a good chase though from Tom Nisbet. And that's it. Full time here at the Manchester Regional Arena. And Australia go 3 from 3 on their turf so far by winning by 30 points to 18 here this afternoon. 14-8, the Australians are up at half-time, made the perfect start to the second half. Stephen Crichton with the interception. And then Bradman Best crossed for the Australians. Madden goal, 24-8. You would have said game over at that point. But Lancashire didn't give up. A great ball from Jake Wingfield sent Sam Halsall in. Then Bradman Best picked his second up. But Lancashire finished with the final try of the day. Nathan Wild crossing with 5 minutes to go. All in all, an entertaining afternoon here at the Manchester Regional Arena, Alan.
Yeah, I think it's been a real good game and a real warm up for what's to come next Saturday. I think if you're picking two standout players for each side, especially for me today, it could have gone either way with Bradman Best and Tommy Talau, but I've gone with Best personally. I think his power and his finishing
We've gone with
was
Talau,
super.
to be honest.
Have you?
Yeah.
And then for the Lancashire side, I thought Jake Wingfield personally. I thought he'd be behind the ruck at 9 and then went to a pivot and created a lot for him. So them would be my standout two for one either side. So
we are a week away from that first test, and Dave Elliott will be getting these England boys ready, and hopefully they'll have a good week in camp and be raring and ready to go next Saturday.
Yeah, and they've realised now, they've played them once, they know what they're about, they know where they can get them, they know what their strengths are, so they can stop their strengths and then progress on and get better at what the weaknesses are. I think we're in for a real tough battle, and I'll go to it again, Matt. I'm going to tip England as well.
So that's it here from the Manchester Regional Arena. Thank you for joining us here on the Our League app. Just a reminder, next Saturday, 2 p.m. UK, 1 a.m. Sunday morning Sydney, midnight Queensland. It is the first test between England Academy against the Australian Schoolboys. Thanks to Alan for his company here in Manchester this afternoon. I'm Matt Horton, and we'll see you in Leigh next week.